was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Foles. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
To throw again on second down. Foles. And some room to maneuver. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. So after the INT, it's Breeze. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Here we go.
To throw, it's Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Yellow waiting.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Pretty fortunate there. The interception that ended the last drive, and then, boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call him to question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. Now Breeze finding Kamara, and he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
A gain of 16 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Breeze to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to...
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Foles. He'll throw complete to Gus Edwards. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Coming to you.
Here's Foles. Throw right side of the tight end O'Shaughnessy. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
First and 10.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Oh, yeah.
2nd and 13. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end, and it'll bring up 3rd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Edwards. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, as some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Back to throw here. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Edwards. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 13-yard line. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the gun, they go to Edwards. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stay home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Edwards. 6-0 our score after one. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. On third down, here's Edwards. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Let's go. At their own 21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
First down, New Orleans.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Breeze now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And the Saints.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Caught on the left side by Ginn. Give them 32 on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, but it'll be second and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans.
Touchdown, New Orleans.
Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Foles into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
To throw on second and 10. Foles, pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Cameron Jordan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Gus Edwards, the one he was looking for. But now it'll be 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Here's Ginn. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Telvin Smith, he was third in the AFC in tackling a year ago, there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. Third down here.
Ready. 5-9. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Check 24. Check 24.
And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Looking to throw again on second down. Foles. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now back to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here's Logan Cook now, standing just outside his own goal line. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now it's Ginn. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards. So make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two. They run it again with Kamara. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Here we go, here we go. 44 to Mike, 44 to Mike. Check.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. This is caught by Gill. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Check. Watch the twitch. Watch the twitch.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Check 15. You're good. Check 4, ready. Under.
Kamara trying again. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a run with Edwards. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He'll find O'Shaughnessy open left side. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements.
And he's taken down here by the Saints.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Fielded just inside the 20. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the time
we have to leave the booth.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Ginn has it complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
I think the key to that play was them understanding and knowing that once the ball was out, they were still eligible to pick it up and carry it.
Yeah, there was some standing and some staring on the wrong side of the football there, wasn't there?
Yes, he has a name, he has a number, but for us, he's Johnny on the spot. And how about that rambling run all the way to the end zone with that alert play that he just made?
Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Watch the out. Watch the out.
They run once more with Edwards. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And some room to work. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Kamara. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
We taking wins home.
Now Kamara, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Saints on fourth down last year, 13 of 16, second best in the league, and they'll try it here.
Check it, kill.
They'll go for it. It's Breeze. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Miles Jack with a sack. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
A loss of 2 there, second down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
Foles. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 30. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Get ready.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Foles now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Here's Edwards, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
It's going to be a long day.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Foles looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Edwards. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this.
From the midfield strike, they look to throw. This one complete over the middle to O'Shaughnessy. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Ready? Double lead. Kill. Get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Protein spit.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for New Orleans, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.